Welcome back everyone to the channel. Today we're going to dissect a topic that I believe is very relatable. Even a challenge for many people in this modern life. That is how we can enjoy entertainment games online, on phones, on computers, and so on, without getting drawn into them. Without letting them take up precious time and affect our real lives. It sounds simple. Just play games for entertainment. What's there to talk about for 60 minutes? But everyone, the line between healthy entertainment and getting too drawn in is sometimes very thin. And it's not just young people, but even middle-aged people, and even older, can easily fall into the virtual world of these games. Why do I say this topic is important for both groups? Young and middle-aged in the US. Studies in psychology and human behavior indicate that entertainment games, especially online games, are designed very cleverly to stimulate our brains, releasing dopamine, a chemical that creates feelings of pleasure and excitement. It's that feeling of winning, receiving rewards, leveling up, or simply the curiosity of what will be in the next level. What item will I get from this draw? Those are the things that make us easily hooked on games. For young people who are in the stage of studying and building their careers, spending too much time on games can seriously affect their academic performance, work efficiency, and even real-life social relationships. As the old saying goes, play with fire, you'll get burned. Playing games without control can also cause significant wounds to the future. For example, a final year student, instead of spending time studying for exams or looking for a job, spends hours every day grinding an online role-playing game. They stay up late to participate in game activities, neglect their studies, come to class sleep-deprived, and of course, the result is drastically reduced grades. Good job opportunities also slip away just because they didn't spend enough time preparing. This is a typical example showing how being drawn into games can take away important opportunities in life. What about middle-aged people? Work pressure, family responsibilities. Sometimes they turn to games as a way to relieve stress, to escape reality for a moment. But if not careful, playing games excessively can make them neglect work, reduce concentration, affect health due to prolonged sitting and lack of exercise, and especially affect the time spent with family and children. I know a case, a father who loves his child very much, but has a habit of playing a strategy game on his phone whenever he's free. At first, it was just a few minutes while waiting for the bus. But gradually, the time spent playing games increased. In the evening, instead of playing or reading books to his child, he was glued to his phone to complete daily quests in the game. His daughter asked him to play together many times, but he brushed her off because he was busy playing the game. Gradually, the relationship between father and daughter became more distant. He realized this and deeply regretted it. This is a reminder that time with family is priceless. Don't let any entertainment game take away that precious moment. It's like older people often say, share the good times, endure the bad times together. But time spent together should be, sometimes play together, sometimes learn together. You can't let games overwhelm everything, right? So, how can we set boundaries for ourselves and not be swallowed by these games? You know, first and most importantly, be aware of the problem. You know, ask yourself how much time you spend on games every day. Every week. Does playing games negatively affect your work, studies, health, or relationships? Being honest with yourself is the first step to controlling everything. You know, it's like the saying goes, know yourself. Know your enemy. You have to understand your own level of infatuation with games first. Secondly, set specific time limits for playing games. You know, decide beforehand how long you will play games each day. For example, only 30 minutes or 1 hour. Use a stopwatch or phone, computer usage tracking apps to help you stick to this limit. You know, when time is up, stop firmly, even if you're in the middle of a quest or a match. You know, it might be a little difficult at first, but gradually it will form a good habit. You see. Thirdly, find healthy and interesting alternative activities. You know, don't let games be your only source of entertainment. Spend time on other hobbies like reading books, listening to music, exercising, learning a new language, meeting friends in real life, participating in volunteer activities, or simply taking a walk in the park. You see, having many entertainment options will help you not be dependent on games. You know, as the old saying goes, one tree doesn't make a mountain. 3 trees together make a high hill. Having many different hobbies will make your life richer and more stable. You know. Fourthly, turn off game notifications on your phone or computer. You know, notifications like, your energy is full, claim your daily reward, or, your friends are waiting for you, are designed to pull you back into the game. You know, turning off notifications will help you avoid distractions and easily stick to the time limit you've set. You see. Fifthly, avoid playing games in tempting places. You know, for example, if you often play games on your phone before bed and it keeps you up late, leave your phone outside the bedroom or turn it off before going to bed. You know, creating an environment that is less stimulating for playing games will help you control yourself better. You see. Sixthly, share your goals with trusted family members or friends. You know, tell them that you're trying to reduce your gaming time and ask them to remind or encourage you. You know, having someone to accompany and support you will give you more motivation. You see. Seventhly, recognize the warning signs when you are at risk of getting too drawn into games. You know, these can include feeling restless or uncomfortable when you can't play games, thinking about games a lot even when you're not playing, lying about how much time you spend gaming, neglecting work or studies because of games, or spending too much money on in-game items. You see. If you notice these signs in yourself or a loved one, take the problem seriously and seek help if needed. You know, don't be shy, because prevention is better than cure. Recognizing it early will make it easier to fix. You know, I want to emphasize one more thing. Entertainment games themselves are not bad. You know, they can bring joy, connect friends, train thinking skills, reflexes, and so on. The important thing is how we use them. You see. Be the master of the game. Don't let the game master you. You know. Now let's talk a little more about why controlling gaming is good for both young and middle-aged people. You know, for young people, this helps them focus more on studying, building a foundation for the future, developing soft skills through extracurricular activities and direct communication. You know, it also helps them avoid other potential risks related to the online gaming world, such as scams or negative virtual relationships. You see, as for middle-aged people, controlling gaming time helps them balance work and life, spend more time with family, take care of their health, and pursue other personal goals outside of games. You know, it also helps them avoid overspending on games, a problem many middle-aged people face when playing games with item or gacha systems. You know, there's a saying that I really appreciate. An older person once told me, "Real life out there is much more interesting than what's on a phone screen." My child, it's truly like that. You know, the real world is full of rich experiences, meaningful relationships, and opportunities for us to develop ourselves completely. You know, don't let yourself be imprisoned in the virtual world of entertainment games. Okay, I know that changing habits is not easy at all. You know, it requires patience and determination. You know, but think about the long-term benefits you will receive. More time for important things. Better health, stronger family and friend relationships. And importantly, you will feel like you are in control of your own life. You know, I also want to take a few minutes to answer questions from some of you about foods good for memory and concentration, and how to incorporate them into your daily diet. You know, I understand your interest in this topic, and I think it's also very useful. You know, however, as I mentioned in the previous video, this topic is not directly related to controlling gaming. To ensure this video focuses on the main content and provides comprehensive information on how to avoid getting drawn into entertainment games, I'd like to reserve the topic of foods good for the brain for a separate video. You know, I promise to research thoroughly and bring you simple recipes and small tips to boost brain health. You know, thank you very much for your understanding and for suggesting the topic. You know, going back to the story of controlling games. You know, I hope the sharing just now has provided everyone with new perspectives and practical tools to manage their gaming time. You know, remember, entertainment is necessary, but don't let it control your life. You know, now is the time for us to interact. You know, do you have any strategies or tips to avoid getting drawn into entertainment games? Or have you gone through a difficult period with controlling your gaming time, and how did you overcome it? Please share your story and experience in the comment section below this video. You know, your sharing can be a great source of inspiration and help for others who are facing similar problems. You know, or if you have any questions about this topic, don't hesitate to ask. You know, I really want to hear from you. You know, thank you all very much for joining me in today's chat. I know this video is a bit long, but I hope it has brought you valuable information and useful advice. You know, if you found this content valuable and want to see more videos from me on topics related to life, technology, and self-development, don't forget to hit the like button. Share this video with your friends and family, and especially hit the subscribe button and the notification bell icon right away so you don't miss any new content in the future. You know, your support is the biggest motivation to help the channel grow. You know, see you all in the next videos. You know, wish everyone always has balance in life and is in control of their entertainment time. You know,